What's up, family? This is Kevin Orris doing another Ask Me Anything. If you're watching this video later, please do type replay in the chat or share it out if it was meaningful for you. And today I'm going to be breaking down some of the myths people believe around dating in 2023, and also just answer questions from my group, the Aligned Relationship Dojo, which you can join here, and just have some fun today. Lot of good feedback on these lives. I'm really enjoying live streaming, so I'm gonna run this for about an hour, and that's the play. So we got SXE boy. That's not a bot account. Wild Child Tulum, Samuel, Brent Newman, Kevin Son, TRD. Welcome, y'all. 11 joined, huh? I don't see that. Yeah, ODE, Damien. Outsource, delegate, eliminate. That's the way. So I'm going to repost this into my group. And if you guys got any questions or you want to shout out and share something, please do. Love to hear from y'all. And that's what it is. It is what it is, y'all. Hope you're having an amazing day. What are y'all grateful for today? All right, Wild Child Tulum. Hi, brother. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Any helpful strategies on conscious decoupling when we would have to see each other at work and in a small town? I'm talking about Tulum. Tulum is definitely a small town. Yeah, you really need neutral third parties. So you need people that you trust, that both of you respect in your community, that can really help you to release any resentment and get support. And you might just have to, if it's a fresh decoupling or uncoupling breakout, whatever you want to call it, you might have to just not see each other and not be in contact. So you might have to do that, and that's just part of the healing process. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have to see each other at work, just let it be known that you want to be civil and compassionate. But if there's any resentment in the field when you're uncoupling, that's going to be really tough. Now, obviously, you can do it. I believe in your ability to do it. It's just, yeah, it might not be super easy, you know. So I'm sure you can do it though. You can do your best. And when you say conscious decoupling, have you actually started that process? So have you started the process of actually uncoupling, like conscious uncoupling or decoupling? Like what have you actually done there? Because that could be a really powerful place to start, is actually have that time set aside so you don't have to do that in public or at work. You need to do that between one another, you know. Katrina, welcome. Hey, I'm here. No questions, just listening while nursing the cold today. Okay. Hope you heal up. And Wild Child Saloon, thank you. There is no resentment. Amazing. So you're very blessed then. So I'm just going to go into some of these questions from my group, the Aligned Relationship Dojo. If you're not in there, you know, head to my profile. You'll find it in my link tree. So it's a closed group, but it's free to join. Lots of good stuff in here. And just people have some hot takes this week. So the first one is, I was writing about like what alpha men and women want, right? And alpha, like people think, oh, alpha, it's toxic. It's like, no, alpha is just a self-sovereign, direct individual. You know, and that's why they often become leaders and they're drawn to leadership, alphas, is because that's the energy they're holding. It's not that they're assholes or whatever. Now, sure, a lot of alphas have exhibited, you know, bad behavior, and so that's why the word gets a bad rap. And then there's the whole crew that's like, the study about alpha wolves was faked, none of that's real, there's no such thing. It's like, okay, you know, what it designates, what the word designates, the symbolism of an alpha energy, someone who's very direct and has a lot of yang energy, or is really embodied and sovereign and has strong boundaries, frankly, and preferences. You know, we can call that alpha. You can come up with another name, but anyway, it's a real thing. And then someone shared in the group, you know, this post. I don't know who. Looks like it's oh, I won't name names, but I think this person is some kind of coach. And they basically posted about, should women be in service to men? And this one got spicy. A bunch of people popped off in this one. Because this is the thing. People think like, should women be in service to men, right? Immediately, because of, you know, the trauma on the planet and the woke wars and culture wars and all the Me Too energy and fallout and the witch hunting of cancel culture, all of which is mob mentality, scapegoat behavior. It's not great behavior in terms of being a self-sovereign, curious individual. But anyway, they immediately assume, should women be in service to men? Oh, you just want to dominate women. Women are lesser than, women are blah, blah, blah. But there's a deep meaning here. This is a Rorschach test. Because you look at the comments, so many people are like, what? This is absolutely not. I would never serve a man. I'll never be in service to anyone but myself. And then some women are like, or men, well, if the man is protecting and providing for a woman, would that make sense? Would a feminine woman want to serve their man in devotion and love? And then you start to get to the lower levels here and the deeper levels. Why is this even a conversation? Enough with the division, you know? And then we have women saying, you know, I put my service into what I can help with him achieving his goals and my beloved. The connection, the communication, you know, acts of service are a love language. Both parties should be in service of the relationship. You know, there's a lot here, y'all. And there's just something about this. The word submission or devotion of the feminine to the masculine, people assume that means weakness or like subversion or domination in a bad way, where it's like, I'm going to control you and like use you. And, you know, it breaks my heart that that is the experience of a lot of people. A lot of women have been hurt by men, and I understand that. But that doesn't change the fact, the biological fact, that, and this isn't a position of weakness, it's a position of power. A woman in devotion to a man in true love, it's a superpower. Not only will it lift that man up, it lifts her up, and they both lift up to God. And that's what you have to, like, you have to experience it. Facebook posts can't explain that. And it breaks my heart that some people have never had a relationship that even approaches that level of energy. And I don't claim to have like figured it out. I still have plenty of shit I'm working on in relationship, but I've touched it just 1%, and just felt the energy of a woman's devotion and love, being in service. If she's in service to me, that doesn't mean she's not in service to herself or her vision of God. It just means that the devotional energy is a net positive for everyone, the family, the tribe, the village, the world. And it breaks my heart that people see that. And this is a big myth, you know, the title of the video here, myths people believe about dating. The woman that says, I will never serve a man, I'm an independent woman, I'm strong, blah, blah, blah. This is a psyop by radical feminism. And the lived experience of our ancestors and a lot of women out there that you probably look up to is not that inside relationship. And only you can know that for yourself in the experience of love. And if you haven't found it, that's okay. But don't go around telling women, you know, and projecting your trauma when, you know, it's just not true. And obviously, like, people are gonna shit on this take maybe, and that's okay. So welcome everybody. This isn't Ask Me Anything. Shimmer Spiral in the house, Tank, Gula Guy, Kino Marshall, CJ, Nadia, Deb Zeller. Thank y'all for being here. If you got a question, type it in the chat. I see 7 people on Facebook as well. So come on in, y'all. Say hello. Just type a one-word gratitude in the chat. What are you grateful for today? Just type it in. Allison, is it challenging to be a man in this modern hypersexualized world? 100%. I love to serve my man. See, Allison gets it. So this is the thing. A lot of the hypersexualization, some of it is like, okay, there was a lot of sexual repression, right? So there's a natural pushback against like not being able to express sexuality at all. for a long time. There's a lot of that. But a lot of it is designed to weaken men, right? Like, I mean, porn and, OnlyFans and the sexualization of women and men in media and advertising. A lot of this stuff to a man that doesn't have strong boundaries and a strong makeup of his values and discipline, it will 100% potentially rock him and derail him. And that's just a real reality. So as a man thinketh and acteth, so he becometh. And so, yes, hypersexualized world, it's a challenge for men and women, because women then compare themselves and the beauty standards and a lot of the really sad statistics now coming out about women and Instagram and filters and social media and thinking everybody's happier, hotter than you and doing better than you. And it's just simply not true. And this is why your village and your close circle is actually the most important thing to focus on. Casey in the house, what's up, brother? Good to see you. How's your Friday going? Grateful for opportunity, amazing. Allison, social engineering, yep, that's exactly what it is. So anyway, that thread is very fascinating. Should women be in service to men? Curious what y'all think. And if you haven't shared gratitude, just one word. What are you grateful for? What's alive for y'all? It doesn't ask me anything, so if you want to ask a question, you can. I'm just going to keep going through the group, though, because there's a lot of good stuff in here. So here's one. I'm talking about, women competing for the attention of men as inverse polarity, women tearing each other down, and the sister wound. And someone in the dojo just said, what is the sister wound? It's the same as the brother wound. It's the wound of women between women. So there's intersexual wounds, like men and women not meeting, or the abuse and trauma of, that. And then there's intrasexual wounds, which are between same sex. So the sister wound is simply women betraying, gossiping, and backstabbing each other for the love of men or the love of women they think are above them, right? So there's a lot of that energy, and a lot of women will instantly know what I'm talking about. We just call it the sister wound because in the ideal setup, sisterhood would prevail and be a very healthy and powerful dynamic with women lifting up women and supporting women and socially gluing and bonding the whole community and their men, gathering together, raising children together, healing together, being oracles together. And it's really sad that women have also been targeted by social engineering, right? Shimmer Spiral, grateful for my car right now. Yeah, thank you. I'm grateful for my car as well. It's a real blessing to have a car. And so, yeah, don't ever give up your car, by the way. Well, let's do a quick side rant here, and this may ruffle some feathers. Well, actually, you know what? Just checked in. It's not worth it. But anyway, don't give up your car. Don't buy into you will own nothing and be happy and like your car is destroying the planet. It's not. And a car is a very essential part of individuality and sovereignty, just like the horse was. So super grateful for cars. It's a great little side tangent. I almost went full ham there. Which, side note, there's things I don't want to say on social media. I don't know if some of y'all have seen my stories. There's things I don't want to say on social media because shadow banning is real. And I also just want to be in service to those of you that are really here to level up your relationships, power up intimacy, become a better man, become a better woman, and practice intimacy as an art form. That's what me and my clients do together, is we're entering those types of spaces. So that's what this is for. That's why I'm doing this. There's a whole nother side of me, though, which I'm going to be releasing somewhere else because, this is my business space. But some of you that want to hear what I really think about the world and what's going on and all the research and crazy things I've looked into, just stay tuned. We'll have another fun box where we can put that. Anyway, I digress. Will Keller, much love and respect, brother. Thank you for being here. Petra, should be in service to one another. Yep, I agree. Casey, preparing for the visit. They arrive tonight. Nice. Talking about your boys. Petra, grateful for abundance. Yeah. Blessed be that abundance. Allison, it has to be understood on the basic premise of what women offer, just being in their pleasure. See, this is a code right here. Allison gets it. A woman in her pleasure, in her desire, in her joy is just a gift that lifts everyone up around her. Like, just think about that for a second. How many men out there listening to this now or later, just being around a woman in her pleasure, her excitement, her desire, and her boundaries, just doing her thing, how much of a gift is that? How charged up do you feel? Not even sexually, just energetically. How charged up do you feel being around that woman, whether she's a mom, whether she's your wife, whether she's a clerk somewhere and you're buying a burger from her? Just imagine that. This is a code right here that Allison's pointing at. It's 100% true. It's called Shakti, right, in Sanskrit. And it's life force energy. It's the feminine principle. And women can run that principle in a way that men cannot. It's one of their superpowers. And that's why when a woman is in that energy in service to her beloved, her husband, her boyfriend, her partner, I mean, you're talking about superhuman levels of health, vitality, excitement, intimacy, health, wealth, joy. It's not a subjugation. It's not a bad thing. It is nature's way. It's God's way. And obviously respect and boundaries and a symbiosis between men and women, because in the same way, when a man is in service to his beloved, his woman, magic happens. She feels safe and covered and just, charged and loved. It's a whole nother level, y'all. So many people are in a very distorted view and mythology, not the good kind of mythology, a negative mythology around dating and masculine and feminine. And there are people to this day that still comment on my stuff, and it's like, this is 1950s polarity, and Kevin, this is toxic. Like, how could you say this? There's no differences between men and women, you know? And I'm sorry, like, that's bullshit. And that's okay, you know? I support free speech. I want to hear your opinion, but that doesn't mean I have to, unblock you if you were disrespectful. Told you it was going to be spicy today, y'all. Shimmer Spiral, dating some very spiritual men right now. It's beaut. Amazing. It's beaut. It's beautiful. What does that mean for you? What is a very spiritual man for you right now? I'm glad to hear it's going well, though. So anyway, talking about women competing with women is inverse polarity. You know, there's some bars here. And one brother said, it's a huge turn on when I'm with a woman for years and only hear her talk greatly of other women. Doesn't matter how gorgeous she is. Once I hear that kind of gossip, I'm out. It's from a man's mouth right there. Another woman said, yeah, I'll never compete for a man. If he wants another woman, why would I want him? Bingo. That's how a high-value woman thinks. Listen up, gentlemen. And toxic behavior is gross regardless of whether or not it's attractive. There's no way a man who's a good match for me would be okay with that, like gossip. There you go. Another woman. From my experience, I'm disliking drama and gossip and not going along with it, but those same women will now gossip about you and make your life very unpleasant. I think it's difficult for them to bond in a regular way. It's sad but true for a lot of women. Just wanted to point out it's not always easy for women to find good female friendships either. And this is the number one thing I work on without fail with female clients. And there's a reason for this. Most women that come to me and do a one-on-one coaching or even coach with me with their husband or partner, they don't have a sisterhood. They don't have women that they can be 100% honest with and vulnerable with. Why is that? What's going on there, y'all? Why is that the case? That's why you're not, if you're single, that's why you're not meeting quality men. Because you don't have women around you modeling in their nervous system healthy sisterhood. That's why you feel lonely and turn to addictions or turn to like mailing yourself in or selling yourself short. Same thing for men. A lot of people of the individual myth of Western civilization has betrayed a lot of people. because no one does anything alone. You go to any country in the third world that still has indigenous ways, or even just, a lot of Latin culture. You see this, in Mexico, Central and South America, Spain, the Mediterranean. You see this in Asia. You see this in Southeast Asia. I spent a lot of time in Indonesia and Thailand, and it's village. You can say it's like old school, and it's like there's a lot of like repression there too, because like couples have to go hide to make love, or you have to go to church, and your grandparents are in your business. But what they have is bonds that are real. It's not a bunch of siloed people without men and women surrounding them. And obviously, they have their own issues, but there's a big reality to that, y'all. I don't think enough people understand how deep that goes. Um, so anyway, welcome everybody. Chelsea, Joanna, Healing Meraki, Thomas, Gustavo. Thanks for being here. If you got anything you want to share in the comments, please do. If you want to drop a question, if you just want to comment on what I'm talking about, would love to hear it. Katrina, definitely grateful for my girlfriend circle. It's going strong for 20 years now. Amazing. Not everyone has it. Not taking it for granted for sure. That's beautiful that you've cultivated that. I mean, I've been part of a men's circle here in Austin since I moved back, and we've met every week for 6 months. It's life-changing. My whole life has changed just because of that. And I've been traveling a lot in my life. I've always had amazing friend circles, but when it's in person and it's consistent and it's in your community where you are now, there's nothing as good as that. Nothing. So yeah, what questions y'all got? Hit me up. Women staying in their pleasure unless something is birthing should be paramount foundation of relationship. Then he knows what he's in service to. Exactly. You guys realize that men and women are the most turned on by female pleasure? This is well studied. I mean, this is also why, things like porn and advertising work, is because everyone wants female pleasure. It's the highest level. Men are the most turned on by it, obviously, but women are also turned on by it. And I'm not just talking about sexual pleasure. I'm talking about excitement and joy. So that's real. And if a man is in service to that in a sovereign way, in a loving way, you have a whole nother level of relationship and dating. Now, what do you really think? Out with it. I mean, what I was going to say earlier is that a lot of the climate change and environmental movement is complete bullshit. Now, you can fact check me if you voted for, our dementia patient who's kind of running things, which is silly. But I said what I said. There's a great George Carlin, if you know the late great George Carlin, a goated fucking comedian. He's doing this whole bit where he's like, and obviously this is a gross metaphor and like characterization, but there's a lot of truth there. He's like, you're telling me that, in the last 150 years when the US and the world is industrialized and we're, burning oil and, building cities and shit, you're telling me that's going to destroy and destabilize the planet like that, when for billions of years, like tidal waves and hurricanes and mass fires and meteor strikes and fucking ice ages and glacial melts and lava covering continents and continents sinking and rising from the ocean has happened on Earth, and life has thrived a lot of that time. But some plastic bags and burning oil, which puts carbon dioxide in the air, which by the way is what plants eat, is going to destroy the planet. And he's just laughing his ass off. He's like, Mother Earth's like, oh, like we had a super volcano go off like, 20,000 years ago. But then Earth's like, oh no, some plastic bags and some tin cans. Like, I'm done. When you put it like that, which obviously, I'm not saying that we shouldn't care for the Earth. We 100% should. That's the sad reality, is that we've had the ability to have clean energy and live in symbiosis with the Earth for like 70 years at least. Maybe longer if you go back to Tesla and when he first did his experiments, 1890s. So anyone who tries to shame me on the climate change thing, or wants to die on that hill, I just have a tough time with it. Now, what's more fascinating to me is that, the world has gone through heating and cooling globally many, many, many times. And at this point in humanity's history, we're living through it. Our ancestors lived through it. They didn't have social media and scientific studies. But the idea that it's all caused by us and not part of a natural cyclical change, and there's actually no cause for alarm. Um, Now, that being said, yeah, if you built your city on a floodplain that's going to be underwater because the sea level is rising, yeah, we could probably figure that out. We should probably like invest in like solutions instead of being alarmist and black pilled about it. That's all I'm saying. Um, let's fucking use technology to help humanity instead of bombing people that believe in a different God. Um, so yeah, Allison, that's what I really think. And I'm open to being wrong. If someone wants to dunk on me with evidence or an argument around why that's completely wrong in every way, I'll listen, but say it with respect. Um, Disrespect will get you blocked. That's such a relief for the feminine to hear and realize. So much anxiety and pressure that causes inauthenticity melts away. There you go. Shakti. That's it. Allison, jealousy in women can be the mirror of his internal splitting. It has nothing to do with her. Interesting. Can you say more about that? You're saying his internal splitting. So jealousy in women is mirroring that. Like when women are jealous about a man, is that what you're saying? Peter, what's up? In response to those that were saying to you, it's 1950s polarity, blah, blah, blah. Kevin, it's not toxic. It's about realigning yourself to be a better person. I would agree with that. Thank you, brother. Will, excellent response. Thank you. Kat, I love that you're always promoting tribe, family, connection, support. That's the basis of everything. That's the basis of everything. And a lot of people miss that part. I'll be real with y'all. Like most of my clients, even super successful clients earning over 6 figures as coaches or entrepreneurs, they're missing this. And so we get super deep into our work. We start working together first session. We lay everything out on the table. We like really feel, we go in, we vision, and then we just radically, if you work with me, I'm going to roast you. Like that's my superpower. I'm a sniper. Like I can spot bullshit a mile away, and I know the questions and the states that are going to get you to your edge. And that's what I love to do. That's like one of my gifts. So I'll get there right away. All the vision about the level 10 relationship and sex and intimacy and all those things, we can't even get there because we have to build a pyramid at the bottom. And if you don't have a men or women's circle, you don't have full spectrum support in your village and community, how are we going to get to these other levels? It goes for everything: fitness, money, business, love, sex. That's why my focus this past year has been all in on community and building it. I've had to solve this problem myself. It's not easy. You got to show up. You got to be consistent. I'm not saying it just happens on its own. You got to really show up for it and create it. And if no one's going to lead it, you need to lead it. That's the truth. So yeah, Deepot, Chris, what's up, Chris? Welcome back. Sarah, Sandra, Healy Meraki, Shimmer. Thanks for being here, y'all. Healy Meraki says, any perspective on men with physical abuse as a child that now has a strong pattern of lying in adulthood? Yeah, this is tough. How to be in a romantic relationship with a partner healing this, but struggling to be truthful. I mean, does this man have support? You might need therapy. You might need coaching. You might need real professional support with that. Because if there was abuse and he's learned to defend that with lying and it's coming up in the relationship, there's definitely something there where like how to be in a romantic relationship with him, love him and support him, but also be a stand with your boundaries and share your desire that this is affecting you and share the impact for you personally. Don't blame him or shame him, but also encourage him to get support in whatever way he feels safe to do it. You can't do that for him. So do not go into mothering. Do not go into trying to therapeutically treat him or coach him. He needs help and he needs to address that, probably with men where he feels safe. Could address it with a woman too, professional, but that's what I would say there. So Allison says, splitting being the internal and external betrayal, mostly his own emotional betrayal. Interesting. Kat, can you speak to why men start to control us? What about the polarity gets flipped in that situation? So my question to you would be, why are you feeling controlled? And how are you creating the conditions to feel controlled? That one's hard to speak to because it's very general. Why do men want to control us? So who are these men? You're saying all men, and who's us? What I heard you say is, why has a man, probably a specific man, wanted to control me? I'm imagining you're talking about your personal experience. And this is just a little spell check and hack for language. When you speak in generality, like, well, everyone does this, or like, well, all of us, like, who are you speaking for? You're not speaking for me, that's for sure. And you're also not speaking for probably a lot of people. So invitation, when you ask questions, to be very specific and own it with I statements, your experience, your nuance, your take on it. That's going to be the best way to really get traction. When the polarity is flipped in that way, though, and it becomes a dominance situation or about control, there's always a sense of insecurity. So you have to understand this. When a man wants to control a woman or control anyone, it's because he feels super out of control. He feels out of control. Think about that for a second. He feels insecure. He feels like he doesn't have control or power over a dynamic or situation, and he's afraid. So he's going to go to his closest connection to try to control that. And that's not flipped polarity. That's just power dynamics gone wrong. That's a behavioral and, abusive dynamic. I don't think polarity is even something to bring into that situation. Now, with consenting adults in a dominance and submission play, or a type of like polarity intimacy where actually the control is consensual and given willingly, which would be submission, which is devotional, then we have a different situation. But that's probably not what you're talking about. Peter, you're not wrong, dude. Thank you. George is incredible. Yeah, George Carlin is a legend. My dad, shout out to my dad. He introduced me to George Carlin. He's the best. Shimmer Spiral, jiu-jitsu and boxing for men, it's community, right? It is. A lot of men will get a lot from martial arts, but they can't only bond on the mat or sparring. They need to bond outside of that too. So that's what I would recommend. Healing Meraki, thank you. Thank you for being here. Orduno and I am Roxbury in the house. Thanks for being here, y'all. If you have any questions, type them in. We've got over 20 people watching. I don't know if it's because the little Biden story I did, where like more people are seeing my page right now, but yesterday I went live and it was like 5 people. This is why I like live streaming, because it's real-time feedback. Allison, quantum sun heating cycle, 22,000 years. That's right. There's a cyclical cycle of the Earth and its climate change. Climate change is the natural cycle of Earth. It's not caused by you not recycling plastic bags or driving a car. Hate to break it to you, but in the geological time scale, 4.5 billion years Earth's been here. 100 years of burning oil and natural gas is not destroying the planet. There's an argument, and again, do your own research. I'm not saying I'm an expert on this, but I find it very fascinating. What do plants eat? Well, they eat stars. First off, they eat starlight. They love it. They need water, like all living things that are carbon-based. And they need carbon dioxide. And what do all those dead dinosaurs, aka oil, release the most? Carbon dioxide. There's an argument that burning fossil fuels and creating the greenhouse effect is creating more plant life. And people hear this and they go insane. And I'm just fascinated by it. Like, if you tell that to a child, of course it makes sense. You tell that to a radical climate extinctionist and they lose their mind. Just really fascinating. This is the kind of stuff I'm going to be releasing on, uncensored channels, but I'm not going to talk too much about it here. LSW Wim fan, welcome, or LW Swim fan. Will Keller, I'm grateful for my daughter and our relationship. Beautiful. Building that animus connection. Oh, it's amazing that you are aware of that. Can you comment on the importance of father-daughter relationship during this time of deception and healthy animus expression? I mean, it's huge. Your fatherhood to her is modeling what masculinity is, and that's going to be her template for how to relate to men. It's such a gift to be a healthy, powerful father and loving. Such a gift. Such a gift. So I love that you have that awareness and are actually seeking to build that. That is a really powerful path, and I salute you. Not a father myself, will be one day, but man, that's really powerful. I'm really grateful for you. And yeah, unhealthy animus is like the controlling mother or like the toxic feminine, which no one wants to talk about, right? That's toxic masculinity. What does toxic femininity look like? It's not pretty. It's very controlling. It's castration energy. It's deception and humiliation. It's reputation destruction. It's a lot of things people don't want to really hear. But that's what the animus, well, the anima is the feminine, but the animus and the anima are those inner Jungian archetypes of the inner masculine and feminine. So unhealthy animus is 100% linked to unhealthy anima. Peter, for sure. I just read something, scientists discovered that plate tectonics plate is still around from way back when. Yeah, that's interesting. What's up, fam? Laura, Mokwai, Miss Jordan in the house. Let's do Envision Epic Style round 2. So here's my honest take on Envision. Unless I'm paid up front to perform there or to be part of a camp or mastermind, I'm not going to go. I went this year. It was amazing. Shout out to Humans I Trust and Jenny. It was dope. But also, I paid to be there. And in this season of life where I'm in build mode, it doesn't make sense to me unless I'm paid. You know, when people ask me to come to an event and teach for free, or they ask me to sell something for them, and I'm not getting paid directly, I'm not doing it. And I really want to see coaches, consultants, healers, artists, creatives like us, a lot of you probably can resonate, just get paid. I've done a lot of free labor. I've put in my, 10,000 hours of facilitating and coaching for free. I have 10,000 more to do. I'm not saying I'm done, but there's a reality to that Envision has not shown up. So awesome. Let's get you paid up front. You did pay me because we actually collaborated, and Miss Jordan is a legend. Some of you may have remembered we partnered on a retreat recently in Costa Rica, which was a smash hit. So yeah, you are a legend, and I'm grateful for you, Jordan. Danielle joined. Thanks for being here. Will, appreciate you as well. Peter, for sure. Thank you for being here. Will agreed. Allison, betrayal of his internal feminine. He's split off from his emotions. Yeah. His dark feminine is still seeking, and it's then continued betrayal of self and others just consuming more and more. Yeah, this is where a lot of promiscuity comes in, or a man betraying himself in a lot of ways because he's not getting his needs met in his internal feminine. So he'll project that onto his partners and create a lot of disharmony, There's a lot of truth in what you're sharing, Allison. Kat, thank you. You're right. I appreciate you calling it out. Just yes, my experience, how to move through that. Your experience is to be in control of your reality. Well, that's your work, I should say. If you can feel fully owned and sovereign and I'm in control of my feelings and emotions, I'm expressing vulnerably and being receptive, no man could control you. So I would invite you to not enter into a relationship until you've really worked through some of that with your sisters and with yourself, and probably not enter into another romantic relationship until you feel 80% solid with that. Miss Jordan, ditto, brother. It's about the exchange for sure. Not everyone values your free work. It's true. People will go to an insurance agency or Walmart, spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on a new TV or whatever. They don't blink an eye. Someone who's devoted their life to coaching or healing or artwork, they expect it for free. It's a cultural industry thing and a marketplace thing that a lot of people don't realize with personal development and business, relationship coaching, etc., personal training. And it's okay. It's not on them to communicate that. It's on you as the service provider to communicate that. So when I work with coaches and help them build their business, that's a big piece of the work we do. Control is always fear-based, 100%. Plants eat starlight. That's the greatest thing I've heard in a long time. I'll never forget the first time I heard that. I was at a festival in the desert in Utah, and this like super, you know, he was epic. He was also kind of an asshole, but this super like creative guitarist was like, he's like, let me ask you something. What do trees eat? Think about a tree for a second. What do trees eat? All it eats is stars. It eats starlight. What kind of being would that be that eats starlight? Which we eat starlight too, by the way. All your cells need starlight, which, I mean, it's a cloudy day in Austin, but it looks like the sun is out, which is what I'm going to do after this, is be in the sun. Got to get that starlight, y'all. Starlight for breakfast. You need it in your eyes, and you need it on your whole body, all your skin. So healthy. Can't wait for your uncensored channels. Yeah. If you guys click my link tree right here, I do have Telegram, which is, less censored. I post a lot of memes there, but if you're not on my Telegram channel, I'd check that out. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you all for being here. It means a lot that you're taking time out of your day to be here with me. If you have any other questions, type them in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. So this is kind of interesting. I posted about this in the group, the 4 stages of healing. This is very much the emotional stages of healing, but the first one is numbness. So a lot of us, we have a lot of pain or trauma, we numb out. So we disassociate, and you can even have memory loss due to trauma, and your body will store that. And then you get into the pain, right? So the emotional pain or physical pain comes to the surface, right? I have my dear brother Brandon, who some of y'all will know. He's all about German New Medicine. 99% of all dis-ease, being uneaseful, is psychosomatic. And this is why. Then you get to the emotional release, right? So you physically release the stored emotions. The trapped trauma moves through your body. It often moves through tears, sweat, purging, yawning, ejaculation, male or female, menstruation for women. A lot of the water in your body is how the energy will move, actually. It's why you cry, water. Urine is releasing these things. Your sacred fluids, your sexual fluids will release this. Blood can release this. This is why women, when they're bleeding, they get emotional. It's because they're moving energy through water. Water is a DNA crystal that stores emotion and information. So when you move water through your body, this is why fasting is so healthy. This is why releasing, through water is where you're moving that emotional energy, right? And then you get back to pleasure and freedom. So you resensitize physically and emotionally, and you can feel more. Oh, you feel more. It's because you're resensitized. You're not numbed out anymore. And that's the stages of healing that you'll keep moving through in a relationship. This is why I posted it in the relationship dojo, the aligned relationship dojo. It's good stuff. Fucking great. Glad I came. Yeah, glad you're here. I appreciate you as well. Will, everything is relationship and energy exchange. Bingo. You should absolutely receive the energy you give. More people should support educators like yourself. Yeah, I mean, that's why I do what I do. And I'm grateful for y'all's support, even your attention right now. And this is why I love working with clients and doing events. I'm going to be doing more workshops here in Austin, potentially a retreat as well. And if that's something y'all are interested in, send me a DM. Send me the word eros, which is love in Greek. And we can talk about, working together. Like, I have a bundle for my courses right now. So both of my courses, you get like almost $240 off them, all 10 weeks of content. I have a bundle that I'm running right now. So if you want to jump in there, I would love to offer you that at a crazy discount. If you just want to do like self-paced work, or if you do want to do a one-on-one container, I'm working with men one-on-one, dating and relating, I'm working with women one-on-one and couples. So if that's for you, reach out. I know someone from the live yesterday reached out. We're going to set up a call next week. So really grateful for y'all. And yeah, we're out here, family. We're out here doing the damn thing. Eddie Evolves, Chris, Danielle in the house. Miss Jordan, shared custody. 1 week a month, no babies now, so I'm going to come visit. Um, yeah, I really hope that that process is going well for you. I know it must be hard with the babies, the twins, and sending you a lot of love, sending you a big hug. Danielle, thinking about moving to Austin, top pros and cons. I mean, Austin's a boom town right now, so I'm biased. I went to college here, UT Austin. Longhorns represent. I'm from Texas too. I grew up in Houston. I love this town. I think it's one of the best towns in the world right now, having lived all over the world. And top pros of Austin, amazing community. If you're single, the best single men and women in the US, maybe right now. If you're into personal development, fitness, podcasting, coaching, health and wellness, amazing. Some of the best restaurants in the US. The food is amazing. Music and shows and comedy. I mean, Rogan is here. The mothership, his comedy club. It's the best. Cons of Austin is, yeah, the cost of living has gone up a bunch. It's getting busy. The roads aren't designed for how many people live here now. Let's actually look at the population because it's gone up a lot. It's over 1 million now, I believe. Yeah, so in the Austin city limits, it's just under 1 million. But let's look at Austin metropolitan area. Yeah, 2.4 million right now. So it's getting up there. Austin, U.S. cities ranked by population. So Austin is number 40 overall as of May 2023. So it slipped out of the top 10 city rankings in 2022 based on the best cities to live. Now it's number 40, which that's complete bullshit. Because who's this by? Like, yeah, mysanantonio.com. So San Antonio's trying to dunk on Austin. I mean, San Antonio's a great town, but it's not Austin. So those are the pros and cons of Austin, by the way. Miss Jordan, it's 100. I have peace. Amazing. Chris Consciousness, what's up, brother? Looking forward to dropping in with you. I sent you my link to book a call. Top books, podcasts you recommend at the moment. The podcast I'm listening to almost every day. Joe Rogan, he's the GOAT. GOAT means greatest of all time. I listen to Naval, the Naval podcast, Naval Ravikant, next level philosophy business podcast. I listen to a lot of podcasts with Rick Rubin on them right now. So Naval and Rogan are the two I'd recommend that I'm listening to. Miss Jordan, got to run. Life calls. Give Orca my love. I will. Thanks for being here. Top books I recommend. Way of the Superior Man for men, David Data. It's the ultimate. You got to start with that if you want to go all in on polarity. And for women, I would recommend Dear Lover, which is Data's book for women. My favorite book of all time is Dune, which you'll see is up here. Dune by Frank Herbert. The book will change your life. It's not just a sci-fi novel. It's a next level book on reality and philosophy. Lord of the Rings trilogy, highly recommend. In terms of personal development, my favorite book is Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. That book will change your life. Also would recommend Think and Grow Rich. If you're an entrepreneur or you want to be an artist, start your own business, build wealth, level up, highly, highly, highly recommend. R. Miriam, happy to see you live. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you being here. Allison, how do men learn to attune to women? Well, practice. Is it by attuning to themselves first? Yes. So a man with self-knowledge, a man with awareness of himself and love for himself and sovereignty will naturally attune to everything around him because he's present, right? He's Shiva. So the masculine energy is Shiva. It's pure consciousness. It's awareness. And if you're in that, you'll attune to anyone. And when you're dating, you'll attune to a woman. So you'll notice her body language, her eye contact, her breath. You'll notice her movements, how she speaks. And then when you're dating or relating, that's the ultimate. Like that's what's going to set you up for success dating. And this is what I teach when I coach men. Gotta be attuned. You gotta be attuned and dialed in so you're not blocking love. You're not blocking the flow of energy, the flow of communication between a man and a woman. And that means you are attuned, right? Imagine jamming together in a band, right? You got the guitarist, the drummer, the vocalist. Someone who's out of tune, if the guitar is out of tune, you can hear it. And when you're speaking with a woman, there's attunement. Are you in tune? That's what attunement is. Listedia and Priya, welcome. If y'all got any more questions, type them in. Let's see how long I've been live here. Almost an hour. Over an hour, I think, on Instagram now. But I'm going to go a little longer. So if you guys got any questions, throw them in the chat. I'm going to go back to my group real quick, the Aligned Relationship Dojo, and check in on if anyone's asked other questions or if there's anything I want to cover in there. And just keep rocking and rolling. I posted a video saying, this is an old video. I think it's from last year. When was the last time you're truly in love, and what did it mean for you? And a lot of people are like, I'm not sure I've ever been truly in love, and someone was sharing from an older generation, sharing gratitude for my work or what my like MO is, saying, I don't think I've ever been in a holistic, healthy love. I've never experienced certain aspects of what you're describing because of all the unconscious trauma, or the aspect of the man mirroring my trauma back to me as a woman. And that really breaks my heart, like all human beings should experience love at some point in their life, right? And I think a lot of it is, it's sad because a lot of people don't know how to be in love with themselves, which is why they haven't attracted love at the highest level with another. And that's kind of the base truth there. Peter, Lord of the Rings is bomb. Lord of the Rings is the best. I recently bought and watched all the extended edition original trilogy, and then we're going to do extended edition Hobbit as well trilogy. It's the best. Me and my partner love Lord of the Rings. It is the GOAT. Tolkien created fantasy for the modern sense. Allison Engel, nice. Peter, when a man loves himself, everything around him goes in sync. That's correct. Allison, emotional survival. What are the first steps for a man to come out of this state? Emotional survival threat. Well, the first step is to feel the emotions. So if it's fear, abandonment, rejection, anger, sadness, you have to feel it to heal it. The issues are in the tissues. Until you can start to feel that emotion that's been trapped maybe for a long time, it's going to be hard to come out of fight or flight or survival. So a lot of men will need other men, men's work, a mentor, a therapist, MMA, art, music, poetry, something to connect to their emotions, meditation, breath work. And then the first steps to come out of it are to feel and label the emotions. What am I feeling in this moment? What's coming up? And then get really real with that and get underneath what is actually driving that emotion. Monica and Bridget in the house, welcome. Danielle has a question. Thanks for being here. Angel in the house. Dealing with a lot of heartbreak and loss at the moment. Sorry to hear that. Any input on how to move through it? I'm having a hard time making decisions and upcoming changes. Well, it's just what I was sharing. If you're experiencing a lot of loss and heartbreak, the first step is to really go into that and feel it. Get honest with yourself, feel into it. What's happening for you? What's really the struggle? Until you go into and feel that, it's going to be a hard time making clear decisions and dealing with changes. So you might just need a season of feeling, a season of going inward. I think everyone just got rocked by the double eclipses, right? We had a solar and lunar eclipse on a full and new moon. It's like, for me, like with my vision of my business and my relationship, my community here, like what I want to do with my art, with my comedy, my music, and also my coaching work, I had my own little like overwhelm, heartbreak around, I should be farther along than I am, or social media is a fraud, all this AI bullshit. I had my own kind of dark night, mini microdose, about a week ago. So when you're in that state, it's really hard to make clear decisions. So you need to move through it by feeling it. And journaling, go for a long walk, go get in nature, go touch grass, go hug a tree, go do an ice bath, go sit in the sauna, go lift a kettlebell and write about it, feel about it, listen to music. You're the main character in your story. So what's your soundtrack? R. Miriam Gordon, other than creating a safe space, what are other ways to show the masculine he's safe being with you? Express your desires in real time and be really responsive to how he's showing up. So it's actually the masculine's role in traditional polarity to create a safe space for the feminine. The feminine can be a safe space for emotion by being very in your pleasure and your desire and sharing that with him. That'll help him feel safe to open up to you and lead you and love you. So if you want to show the masculine he's safe, take interest in his purpose. Share that you feel trust with him, that you feel love with him, and that you want more of XYZ. Whatever you want to see more from him, share that with him and be real with him. Open up with him about that and love him where he's at. Share with your man what is actually important to you in real time by being responsive, using sound, using breath, using movement, using your eyes and body language. That's what I would say there. If you guys haven't checked out my Substack, it's on my link tree here. It's in the comments. Get on my Substack as a free subscriber because there's a lot of great masterclasses, like 2-hour masterclasses with Q&A and laser coaching where I go deep into this. There's so much like value from going into what it means to be a man and woman in 2023 and getting very real and practicing love, practicing polarity and romance like an art. Whether you're actually in a relationship already and you want to strengthen it, or you're looking to create one and you're dating, right? So hopefully that helps there. If you guys got any other questions, type them in the chat. I'm going to sign off here pretty soon. I am Lala. Ashley in the house, welcome. Monica, hi Kevin, welcome. Would you please let me know why my man does not attract me? Or in other words, I feel the polarity's lost. I feel I lack him doing the inner work. He never did this before meeting me. You need to be real with him and share this. Like, why are you linking your attraction or polarity to him doing the inner work? Because that's not actually what it is. You may have lost attraction because you're not feeling his desire for you and he's not taking effort to court or date you. If there was that before in the relationship, it might have been lost. So you need to create conditions by being honest with him on what you need. Share your needs with him, your desires. And then when there must be a decision to go different ways. I mean, it depends on how long the relationship's been going, what your agreements are, but you might just need to take a break. You might need to take space from each other and take a break. It doesn't mean you need to break up straight up, but you might need to take a polarity pause or reset is what I like to call it. So that's something to really, feel into, and only you will know what that is. I can't tell you how to do that. You might need to take a polarity pause and reconnect to the polarity and desire that you think is lost, but actually it's just under the surface. There's some other contractions or things above that are getting stuck. Peter, thank you. Namaste. Sat Nam, brother. Gonna grab some solar light and take a walk in nature. Go eat some starlight. That's the way. All right, family. I'm gonna sign off. You guys are amazing. There's one last question I'll do and then I'll sign off. If this video has been beneficial to you, if you've loved it, please do share this video. It means a lot. Tag someone that you want to see this, and thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. If you want to reach out one-on-one and set up a free consultation with me, and we can drop in about your relationship goals, your dating life, your relationship life, intimate life, and see if we're a good fit to work together and apply, send me a DM directly with the word Eros, and we'll set that up. Monica says, or no, Danielle says, is marijuana ever beneficial for a man? It can be. What are your thoughts on pot? Cannabis is an amazing plant medicine if you have respect for it and use it in a sacred way with intention. I personally used it for years and it was very beneficial. I don't use it anymore because my relationship with it has changed. But for some men, it can really help them become creative, more relaxed in their body. It can also have a lot of health benefits. It can also help you connect to your inner feminine as a man. And as a woman, it can help connect you to your inner masculine. It's very much a bridging herb that can help your psyche integrate, but too much can definitely spin you out and cause a lot of problems. So thank you. I appreciate your existence. Thank you. How long is a normal break? I mean, you can do a long weekend. If you're in a relationship, 3 days can do it. Any longer than that, you might need to have some different agreements. Starlight, LOL. Eat it. Yes. Go out and get some Starlight, family. Eat it up, drink it up through your eyes, through your skin, giving thanks for this beautiful life that we're a part of and that we're in. Hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you all very soon on the next stream.